4 months ago, I basically stopped posting. I went from 3 times a week to once a fortnight, sometimes less than that. And by every rule of social media, that should have hurt me. Post less, get seen less, that's the worry. My reach went up 8 times, and I will explain exactly what happened in a minute, because it could have gone the other way. But first, I want to answer the most boring question in content marketing. The question everybody has typed into Google, Claude, or ChatGPT at some point. The question I get asked probably more than anything else: how often should I post? And here is the honest answer. Anyone who responds to that question with a number is a liar. Not because they're bad people, but because the question is broken. How often should I post sounds like a frequency question, and it isn't. It's a pricing question. Every posting schedule has a price, and you pay for it in 4 different currencies. Maybe 5. Money, your time, your quality, your reputation, or your reach. It's a trade-off, and we'll come back to it soon. There are 3 completely different ways to win this content game. You can post 5 times a day and win. You can post once a fortnight and win. You can post almost absolutely nothing, like 0, not a single post ever, and still win. The last one is quite cool and almost nobody talks about it. But let's start with the loudest one first. The first strategy is what I like to call best friend. This is the posting every day, multiple times a day. Come with me to the studio. Here's me on a train. Here's my coffee. Here's the thoughts I had between client calls. It's basically vlogging chopped up into posts, basically. To be super, super clear, this works. It works very well. It works because of what's called a parasocial relationship. When someone sees you every single day, your face, your routine, your good days, your rubbish days, their brain quietly files you under friend. And people buy from friends. They don't compare friends on price. They don't ask a friend for 2 competitor quotes. When a friend says, I can help you with that, the sale is already done. If you've got the personality for it and a business that suits it, the best friend is the best strategy. But the price, what do you trade off? First, your time. You're documenting your entire working life. Every train journey becomes content. Every coffee becomes content. It never switches off, and it's tiring. Second, your quality. If you have to post something every single day, you don't have time for fresh ideas. The quality drops, the frequency rises every time for everyone. The thing that makes social media so hard to enjoy right now is the spamming of low effort, low value, increasingly AI-generated slop. Posting more badly is just noise. Third, and this is the one that people don't like to talk about, your reputation. Because there's a chunk of your audience, and it's often the senior, wealthy, decision-making chunk of people who watch someone post 4 times a day and they think to themselves, does this person actually have a job? Is this person actually doing any work? Because all I ever see from them is them sitting on LinkedIn posting about their coffee. That's a genuine thought people have, but it depends heavily on the platform. TikTok and Instagram actively reward volume. You post more, you get more, but LinkedIn can punish it. And it's not really the algorithm doing the punishment, it's the humans. People get fed up, exasperated. I made a whole video with Philippe about this exact problem. Well, it's his video. I'm not going to take any credit. It's about the quantity problem, the timing of posts, the balance of quality and quantity, and I'd recommend watching it. Links in the description. So that's the best friend kind of model explored. It's brilliant if you want that friendship at scale, but if what you want is to be seen as a thought leader, an authority, the person whose opinion carries weight, this is not often the best technique. And I'm going to show you the other 2 options that might work better for you. Strategy 2. The thought leader. This one is posting like once a week, maybe once a fortnight, but every piece is amazing. A podcast episode, a proper essay, a video that builds on an actual argument rather than a 3 seconds manufactured hook. The benefits are lovely. You get time to think. You get to be creative. You get to make content you're actually proud of rather than constructing some inauthentic little attention grab. And you still build that parasocial relationship. It's arguably a much better one. Someone who spends 40 minutes with your thinking knows you far better than someone who's seen 40 posts about your coffee. But the price, like every strategy, is expensive and it's reach. Let me give you my own numbers. I've got about 12,000 followers on LinkedIn, and when I was posting 3 times a week, a post of mine might reach 500 people. Out of 12,000, that's 4%. The platform shows you a post to a fraction of your followers, and only a fraction of those actually stop and watch. And that was me posting frequently. If you drop it onto Fortnite, and the platform can basically forget that you exist. So you can spend 6 hours crafting something brilliant and it reaches even fewer people than a photo of like someone's lunch. And that's the trade. The quality goes up, the visibility goes down due to frequency. But it might be up because of quality. Hold that thought though, because in a minute, I'm going to tell you how I posted less and reached 8 times more. Strategy number 3, the operator. Post nothing. And before you switch off, no, that doesn't mean make no content. It's the opposite. Some of the most effective videos in B2B never reach a social feed. Videos on your website that explain what you do perform better than any wall of text. Product explainers, culture videos that do your recruitment for you, event videos, and my personal favorite, objection videos. A prospect says, "We don't understand why I should work with you when I could just ask AI to do it for me." And instead of typing out a long, boring email, you send them a 2-minute video that dismantles that exact objection before the sales call even happens. And they turn up pre-sold. That content converts privately. Whilst everyone else is out there chasing likes, the reputation cost flips completely though. Nobody watches an operator and thinks, does this person have a job? You're clearly not pandering to an audience. You're not refreshing notifications. You're actually doing the actual work. Clients can tell if they know you exist. But what's the price? No audience. Few inbound leads warm me up in the background. Every single deal that you win, you went out and hunted. It's that argument of sales versus marketing, and this leans more towards sales with a bigger brain behind it. You've built a conversion machine, but not a distribution machine. For some businesses, that's perfect. For others, it will dry your business up. They are my 3 ways to win: the best friend, the thought leader, and the operator. Every single one of them works. Every one of them has costs. Now, let me tell you what happens when you refuse to pick one, because that was me. 4 months ago, I looked at my content and I realized that I was trying to run 2 of those strategies at the same time. Half of me was making fast, throwaway, guru-style short form, best friend energy, hooks and pace and volume. And the other half wanted me to be a thought leader, the person you trust with your brand and your budget. I was doing both, which meant I was doing neither. The content didn't know what I was, so my audience didn't know what I was doing or how I could help them. I was posting 3 times a week and reaching 500 people, or I was reaching millions on a post that got 0 leads, but that's a different debate. At the same time, the client work was overwhelming to the point where I had to make a choice, like keep posting or properly serve the people who were supporting my business. So I pulled back, posted once a fortnight, and sometimes even less. And I'll be honest about the fear, because I had it. I thought going quiet would damage my reputation. If people watch your feed slow down, do they quietly assume that your business is dying? Maybe. But instead, I used the space, the time, to fix the real problems. I stopped trying to be 2 people at once and I picked one mode, the thought leader, and I built my content around the podcast. Fewer pieces, massively better for my brand and leads. And my average reach went from about 500 to 4,000 per post. I posted less and reached 8 times more people. Now here's the bit I really need you to hear, because I think it's the most important thing in this whole video. 4,000 views is not a big number. There are teenagers jumping around to a trending song getting 100 times that. But 4,000 of the right people, founders, decision makers, people carrying the exact objections I talk about, that's enough that this business now employs 2 full-time editors plus me. By this time next year, the company will continue to grow with the same content and marketing strategy. I'm not saying that attention isn't important. It's probably the most important, but there's always a trade-off. Some of you are sitting there thinking, well, I don't have time, and that's my whole problem. And that was mine too. And I got the fix wrong for months. The answer wasn't to stop making content. The answer was to buy my time back. I hired help from people who can help me create content with me. So, the question, how often should you post? Now you can see why anyone who answers that question with a number is giving you generic advice, because the real answer is a trade-off. Answer these 4 questions. Who are you? Are you the person who wants to film their coffee every morning, or does the idea of being a thought leader not excite you? Who's your market? Are your B2C product buyers scrolling TikTok, or are they senior leaders who respect the person too busy doing great work to post 6 times a day? How do you want to be known? As the friend that they see every day and can't forget about, or the authority that they see once a fortnight or once a week and never forget? What are you willing to pay? Money, time, quality, reputation, or reach? Because you will pay for one of them. Answer those 4 and then try it. And you will fail. And then you will adjust it. And then you will fail again 100 times over. And then you'll try it again. And you will succeed. But if you'd rather skip most of the failures, the video revenue blueprint tells you exactly what you should be posting based on your buyers' objections. It's the exact process I had to run on myself before any of this turned around. So go to maskew.media/blueprint, MASKEW.media/blueprint. Ciao, ciao.